Do, 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 do.
Welcome to another episode of The Couch Show, and welcome to our
What
channel,
up?
The Rivalry. I'm Lynn. This is Ray. Ray, say
I'm like
hi.
messing up my camera over here. Hold on, I'm like adjusting it. It's like all crooked. Oh man, whatever. It is what it is. Hello, everybody on the YouTubes. Welcome back
On this
on a
Tuesday.
Tuesday. We're
Yeah.
doing Tuesday because yesterday was the holiday. So I think we're gonna try to do Mondays and Thursdays moving forward. But unless
hope
there's a
everyone
holiday.
had an awesome
Unless
holiday
there's a holiday,
weekend.
it'll be Tuesday, yeah.
Official barbecue summer kickoff weekend. We barbecued. I fired up the grill.
Yes, we did. Oh, it was amazing. We had ribs, we had steak, we had burgers, which is funny because I was biking earlier today, like right before we did this. I went biking with my little dude, and we're in town, and like it smells like burgers. So I was like, "Yo, you want to go get a burger?" He was like, "Yeah." So we go to because they're like little baseball place, and they have like little stand at the baseball field, right? And they have burgers and hot dogs. And so we pull up, and he's like, "They don't have no burgers." I was like, "What? What do they have then?" He's like, "They have walking tacos." They get a walking taco. He was so bummed.
Damn. A walking taco is good though. When they have like the bag of chips and they just like put the meat and everything in there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. So then on the way back, he's like, "Oh yeah, I got nachos with nachos." I was like, "Okay, buddy, go." Because it was like Doritos, but nacho Doritos, and then they put nacho cheese. So he was like, "Oh, I got nachos with nachos." I was like, "All right, cool, enjoy." Yeah. All right. So are we done with intros? We're going straight into it. What are we doing?
Let's go into it. So today's topic is it's my drum roll.
Go woke, go broke.
Right. Everybody's talking about Tarjay right now.
Yo. Number one song on iTunes was this rap about like Target and like how to why to boycott Target. It was like number one song on it was like trending number one on iTunes. It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, they definitely. Well, you know what? It's like what in like 2 days they're all gonna do that. They're all gonna pull the Bud Light. Which is it's hilarious because
June is Pride Month. And it's become like this big thing for companies to like run all their campaigns on.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I understand whatever you want to be whatever you want. You know, I wouldn't condone, not being comfortable in your own skin. Like just be who you want to be. But you got to tell me that this is not just about equality anymore. This is like some sort of like sick agenda that's going on. For what? I don't know why. But population control? I don't know. But I digress. Let's keep it going.
That was our little side note. So today's topic is actually the role of humor in building resilience, because a lot of people out here have
softies, bro.
What the hell is the opposite of tough skin? No skin?
They're softies. No, there's a bunch of softies, bro. Like, they gotta toughen up, and I don't understand. Like, back when I was growing up, man, back in my day, I was sounding like an old dude with that. Like back in my day, I had to walk, about 5 miles to the school, up the hill. It was snowing like crazy. No, but seriously, like I remember growing up, and like that was the thing to do. Like with me and my friends, like we used to just make fun of each other, right? And like growing up in the '90s, right? And predominant, like upstate New York, like you know about like New York City. New York City is like heavily, minorities and like, Hispanics. And you can go to areas and you can see everything, right? You can see like the Hispanic spots, all the good food and everything, right? When you go
Mm-hmm.
up to upstate New York, the first thing I noticed when we left the city was like, I was like, yo, where's all the lights? Right? And then it was like you get there and like like they enrolled me into school and everything like that. And I'm like, bro, there's like no, I was like, oh, white people. And honestly, I really do feel like this is like the first time I saw white people when I left like the city and came upstate. And man, how old was I? I was like the third grade or something like that. Yeah, it was like the
Mm-hmm.
third grade. And so I was like, man, there's nothing but white people here, right? But with that said, fast forward, to high school, man, I had like a diverse group of friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, all the minorities in the school, we kind of stuck together. Like we found each other. It's like, oh, hey, you're like me. Hey, let's chill. And like we were all friends. But then we also had, man, I had a Hindu friend, right? I had two Mexican brothers, right? I had myself, Boricua, Puerto Rican. And then, I had white friends. I had Jewish friends. I had like just such a diverse group of like like a mosh of like before like all this, I'm not even gonna say the word because you said it earlier before the show and it kind of like got me all like irate. But like we had a very diverse group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of the things like we had with each other. And this was also when I went into the Marines as well, when I went to boot camp. Um we just used to like rag on the most obvious thing that we would see, right? And
Right.
yeah, we would rag on the stereotypes and all that, but you can't do that now. Like you do that now, and this is the same group of guys that I'm still friends with today, and we're
Mm-hmm.
in a group chat, right? And what we used to do when we were kids, like I'll try to start doing that again, and like one or two of them, they already got the woke agenda, they got the woke message, right? They're now in that like you can't say that. Why are you doing that? You gotta be nice. And I'm like, oh, bro, like this is not what we didn't grow up with that toxicness. Like stop with that stuff. Like we grew up at a different age. You know that. You knew how to laugh it off. You knew how to like build that, that tough skin to be able to laugh off at, you know, um, just laugh at yourself sometimes. Like people don't laugh at themselves
Right. That's the key right there. It's laughing at yourself. Because
right.
honestly, like if you take yourself too seriously, if you take life too seriously, you end up just having anxiety and just being stressed out and worried all the time. You really have to find that lighthearted side of things and be able
Yeah.
to, laugh when you make a mistake, laugh when things don't go the way that you were expecting them to go.
But I mean, but how can people laugh at themselves when you could see that people are getting rewarded for, you know, uh, uh, um, for being something that's I don't know how to say it. Like people are getting rewarded for um like not taking them for taking themselves too seriously. People
Hmm.
are getting rewarded for that, right? For example, I'm gonna touch a controversial, very controversial subject right now. And Lynn knows this. I said it so many times, right? She's gonna go to Gov Ball, right?
Hmm.
Governor's Ball, right here in New York, in June in about 2 weeks. And who's the artist you're gonna go see?
I get to go see Lizzo. I am really excited.
Wow, right. Somebody who takes herself super seriously, right?
Hmm.
To the point where she is making, and it's disgusting that she's making millions. She's making
Hmm.
millions for being fat. I'm gonna
Yeah.
call it out. I'm a big dude, right? And when I see this, it's disgusting because I always take it like I'm constantly pushing myself to say, hey, you know what? It's not okay being like this.
Hmm.
When I'm big, I have health problems, right? When I start to lose weight, even when I lose, I drop 10, 15, 20 pounds, I start to feel better,
Hmm.
right? When I go outside and I go for a walk and I go biking and I do all this stuff with my kid, you know, at first I'm short-winded. After a while doing it with him, right, a couple of days and a couple of weeks or whatever, I start to get that energy back, right? And as a dad, I want to have that energy to go on. I know he's a kid; he has super stamina, but I want to be right there with him, right?
Right. You want to keep
And
up.
it's like I don't understand this society. I don't understand the whole body positivity bullshit. I really don't. And that's literally what it is. I'm gonna call it like I see it. It's bullshit. It's just an excuse to not hold yourself accountable for your actions, right? It's like you need to develop better eating habits, right? And develop, a workout routine or something to help you get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And because you don't want to hold yourself accountable, you're not going to hold society accountable by shaming them and saying that, oh, body positivity, you can't say that to me. And I think it's BS, right? And if you look at, going back to the topic, what's the topic again, Lynn? Because I don't want to lose track on this one.
Humor and building resilience.
Right. If you look at right now, comedy is dead. Like, comedy is literally dead. Remember all the comedy like movies that was like coming out like crazy back in the 90s and the early 2000s and all that? Like, there was this crazy movies. There's movies now, like there's movies that came out like 20 years ago, they want to get canceled today.
Mm-hmm.
Tropic Thunder, they want to cancel that movie. Shallow Hal, they want to cancel that movie. It's like there's so many things that they're trying to, erase because, which I think honestly, if you made movies at a certain time, I think they should just like they should just stand as art.
Your
Right?
grandfather's in.
Yeah, your grandfather in, it stands as art, and if the times want to change, like that's it. Like you just look at it as like, hey, this is a period piece for that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they thought. You may go against it, but let's stop censoring things. I feel like we're constantly like just censoring everything with this whole PC culture.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm so glad. Oh, excuse me. I gotta pick up my iPad. I dropped it over here. I'm so glad that people are having enough. They're pushing back. Like we're seeing, this whole Target boycott, right? And I don't think it's not pushed back against that community, right? That happened to be the one that was being promoted in Target. I think it's just pushing back on this whole woke culture.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that's what it is.
I agree. I feel that we're starting to take this too seriously too, and trying to just put it everywhere where everywhere you turn, this is what you're seeing, this is what you're being told. I think when we stop focusing so much on the problem will go away.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are like, oh, how can you say that? Like, how can you think that by ignoring it's going to go away? Because I see that proof every day. I see that proof when you see a group of kids playing and they don't give a damn. They're not worried about those things. I see that when you walk into church and there's a plethora of different people and we're all coming together to worship together. And I see that when I go like onto onto a bus. Our communities are already integrated. We're already in a place where people look and act the way they want to act, and nobody really like bats an eye at it.
Yeah, and what's the saying that you're not born with hate. Hate's taught, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of as much as you keep hearing something over and over and over again, you're gonna at some point. I'm telling you, all this stuff, it's for a reason. There's an agenda for it. Of course, I'm going to go down the conspiracy rabbit holes, but I'm going to hold myself back a little bit. And I'm just going to say, like, look, the more you keep beating on the drum, the more people are going to hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And was it Morgan Freeman? Somebody interviewed him once, I forgot where it was. It was like CNN or something like that. It was an interview with him. And they were like, what's your take on racism? How do you think we can end racism and all that? And he was like, you want to end racism? We're going to end it today. Let's stop talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking at me as a black actor. Look at me as an actor. He's like, I hate that. I hate that terminology. And I hate the fact that we're even talking about this right now. He's like, you want to end it? Stop talking about it. I think Denzel Washington said the same thing too. It's like, listen, stop putting these labels, stop putting, all these months and all these celebrations and all this stuff, because all you're doing is, as much as you want to say that you're trying to be inclusive and you're trying to put a positive spin around it, you're not. As soon as you isolate one, somebody else is going to be butthurt about it, right? As soon as you say, "Oh, what was it?" May was what? It was May was something. Look it up. May was something, and I guarantee May was like 5 different things.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
Oh, that's a good one. But I mean, like, I guarantee it was some kind of like. Uh, Look it up. I just ask Google. What is May? What May celebrates what? What month is May? And like, I don't know. To me, I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of it all. I'm tired of it all. It's like you feel like you can't be the way you want to be unless your month comes up. It's like it's crazy. So out of the 11 other months, you're not happy with who you are until all corporate America and everybody stands still and says, "Okay, now's your time to be happy."
No, I think May is gonna make you look bad. May is observing some pretty cool stuff. National Walking Month. Hey, Women's Health Care, Mental Health Awareness, Better Sleep Month.
Oh, I know what it is. May is Asian Pacific month.
Where do you get that from?
It is. It is. Look it up. Asian. Ask when is Asian Pacific month.
Asian Heritage.
And it's like a woman's month. Like you're telling me you're not proud to be a woman like the other 11 months of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like I don't understand all these months. It's like it to me. I think we should just get away with like just get rid of it all. And I don't know. That's just my mentality. Because once again, we're at the point where we can't laugh at our differences. We can't laugh and like make fun of each other to build like that bond. People are gonna just label you a bully. They're gonna be like, "Oh, all this stuff," and you know, like like the topic today, right? Laughter builds what resilience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I get it. Like there are certain things like I get the whole bullying thing. I get it, but I think we're so soft. We are so soft today. Like we went to the point where it was like, hey, it was extreme. Let's stop bullying, and we got to that mid level, and it was like, all right, okay, we got bullying in control, and now it's like super like now the weak is the one in control, right? And
Mm-hmm.
everybody got to like be walking around eggshells, and I don't. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't understand it unless there's a different perspective in a way that I haven't seen, and I could kind of like, oh, that makes sense. But every time you try to have this conversation with somebody, what is it? What do they always hit you with? They shame you, right? They hit you with emotion, right? And there's no logic. There's no logic in the argument. Like I gotta ask you, okay, why do we have Asia Pacific? What about the Atlantic? Right? There's islands in the Atlantic. Do we have a month for that? No, we don't. So then how's that inclusive? How's that inclusive? How's that inclusive? Like all the Caribbean islands, right? Is there a month for that? No. So how are we being inclusive? Like when you leave somebody out, you're always like you're never gonna be inclusive for everybody. So why don't we just say, yo, we're all just people and we love each other? I don't get it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. But that's my rant. Go ahead, Lynn. I gotta catch myself because I'll go way on left field.
Well, I didn't really prepare for the topic. I did prepare a story though. I have a story to share with you guys about something happened to me over the weekend. So let's talk about relationships real quick. Let's, completely derail this, go completely left field.
We're gonna do a 180. Go ahead.
We've spoken about this before, and then this very thing happened to me this weekend, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I don't know. Maybe I was better prepared for it because we've spoken about it. So I go on a date this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like a casual like lunch at IHOP. So we go, we're looking at the menu, and they're like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna get whatever. What are you thinking about?" I was like, "Oh, I just want some pancakes. I'm gonna get, a short stack of pancakes." They were like, "Oh, how do you feel about, getting the split decision or whatever? And you can have the pancakes, and I'll have like the little platter." I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So, we're sitting there, and there was like an awkward pause. And then I started laughing. I just started laughing. I thought it was hilarious, and like I pointed it out to him. I was like, I feel like this is kind of like a downgrade here, like I'm glad this isn't the first date because he definitely just offered to split a meal with me. And this is the same person who we've gone on dates before, and like we go to like steakhouses, we go to nice places, but this was the first time that he like offered to split a meal. And while it was perfectly like it worked in the situation, that's exactly what I wanted, just some pancakes, and he wanted a smaller platter. Like it worked in the situation. I just had to point it out. And then after I pointed it out, the waiter like kind of like gave him a side eye because of it. Like when they brought out the food to us, they kind of gave him a side eye because of it. So I thought like, damn, we need to talk about this because there's a lot of hate out in our community about splitting meals.
And I don't understand why. Because one of the most beautiful things you could do is break bread with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. I love it. Wasn't what was it with you the other day? Or it was somebody where like they were trying to be like, oh, I was with a friend. No, where was this? I'm trying to recollect. Man, my memory's shot right now. I can't really think about it. But it was something funny where they were trying to be really formal, and I was like, yo, just stop trying to be formal and just break bread with me right here in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just do this. Let's just rip it up and let's just eat. And it's sad that we are in a time where like this is actually a topic and this is a deal and people are giving side eye and dirty eye when it's just something like not only is that like supposed to be on the next level, like you should be doing that with your significant other when you are getting to that next level. Mm-hmm. Like literally that should be the thing you guys should do all the time you go to the restaurant is like, yo, let's split a meal. Like let's get the surf and turf. I get the steak. You get the shrimps or the lobster or whatever. Like let's go in on that. Let's celebrate. Let's enjoy a meal together. Mm-hmm. Like I don't understand that. That's sad. And that used to be how our tribes used to be. Like, do you understand that we used to share food all the time back in the day?
Right. That's very.
And now
true.
we are so entitled that we got to have our own meal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. To me, that sounds crazy. But like I said, I look at life a complete different way.
Yep.
And it's sad that like you.
So when we actually ordered, he went ahead and he ordered the meal, and so she was like, "All right," and then for you, and I was like, "No, just that." And she was like, "So 2 orders." I was like, "No." He was like, "No, just the one." Like we had to like clarify that multiple times because it's just it's not a regular occurrence. Like most of the time, multiple people come in, everyone orders their own meal. And I've realized this in the past too. Like, say, like I have the kids out and I only order, like 2 meals. I say, oh, we're splitting this. Just bring extra plates. Yada,
yeah,
yada.
yeah.
They always look at you weird.
I don't
like,
care about.
Dude.
Listen, I don't care. I've been doing that for years, and I don't care. We are a supersized society,
mm-hmm.
right? Once again, going back to the fact that we're all fat. We are super fat, and our portions are huge. I don't understand why we go to places and it's once again, as Americans, we're entitled. We think, oh, if we get a small portion, because look, this happened to me when I went to Paris, right? Mm-hmm. We went to this really food restaurant and I was starving, right? And so we go and we ordered the meal and the meal came like, it was like this. And I'm looking at it like, what?
You can't see it.
It was like this. It was like a tiny little thing. It was like this. It was like a tiny little thing, right? And I'm used to like this, right? And I was like, yo.
Where's the rest of my food?
Where's the rest of my food? Right. And so, but we're used to that. Like we're used to these large ass portions where, I'm going to places and I'll order, one meal and I'll split it with my kid. Mm-hmm. And people give me crooked eye all you want. I don't care. Because I know I don't want to eat that much. Mm-hmm. I know that you're gonna give me a shit ton of food and I might as well just split it with him, split it with me, and then bag some for later. It's like, right. If that's how much food you're gonna give me, I'm gonna adapt accordingly. One of the things I love to do, and I think I do this with you all the time, was where we go somewhere and I'll be like, yo, Lynn, get this, and I'll get this, and then we'll split it.
Right.
I do that with Mom. I do it with you guys because I'm interested in the menu, right? And I'll just be like, yo, let's split it. Another thing too, like I don't know if I maybe it was just me. Or but this weekend, I met up with our cousin, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to sell one of my homes, so she's a realtor. So I was like, all right, let's see if you could be my realtor, right? Because I was like, if I don't want to pay that realtor fee, I might as well keep it in the family, right?
In the family.
So yeah, so we go and we meet up at a Spanish restaurant. We were actually by your house. We were like 2 blocks down. And I didn't come see you. I was like, here.
Neither of you did.
But anyway, so we go there and she's like, hey, get whatever you want. And so I'm looking at the menu. I was like, man, there's a lot of good stuff here. She was like, I already ordered 2 appetizers, because I got here early. So I ordered the appetizers so we could start. And I was like, you know what, cuz I've been fasting a lot and I'm not really trying to like eat that much. I'm cool with just appetizers and like doing like tapas and just sharing and enjoying that. So what we ended up doing was ordering like a bunch of like appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that. Because to me, like you would go to a restaurant that's like, tapas and it's all like the deal. It's meant to be shareable and everybody's like, oh, it's partaking into the moment. But because they put that label on it. But if you go somewhere else, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, why are we so programmed like that? Why can't we ever think outside the box? Like, I just don't understand why people are getting crooked eye because they keep seeing, like, they're programmed to be a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why can't we think outside the box? Why can't we think for ourselves? Like, have you been to a tapas restaurant?
The one place they really hate when I do it is when I go to like any kind of like hibachi restaurant and I'm like, oh, I want to get the adult meal, but split it between 2 of the children. They don't like that. They're like,
yeah. And I'm like, but your kid's meal is too small.
Yes.
Your adult meal is too much. So why can't they split one?
Right.
It's like, or you just say, hey, I'm just getting one adult and can I get another plate? And then once they're done making it, just put it on the other plate.
Right.
It's like I don't understand that to me. I do it all the time. And I love it. I love breaking bread with friends, family. I don't know. To me, that's like part of being social, right? It's like, hey, I trust you enough to share my food with you. But like Lynn's like, oh, that's gross. She used to listen when we were kids. She used to hate it when I would share something with her.
Oh my god!
Unless
you would like purposely take a bite out of something, so I could be like, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, but however, if it was something I was eating, like this one time we ordered this nice like chicken sandwich, and I was like eating it, and she goes, "Man, that looks good." And I was like, "Yeah, it's good." And she's like, "What it has in it?" I was like, "Chicken, cheese." She's like, "Oh, how's the cheese taste?" I was like, "Oh, it tastes good." How's the chicken taste? I was like, "You want some?" She ended up eating my whole like sandwich. I was like, she was gonna let me like she ate it all. I was like, fine, go ahead, eat it. So like to me, I don't know. I'm that way. Like I don't mind like eating off of somebody's plate and having somebody eat off of my plate. I just to me it's crazy that we live in a society where now I would man, I would you know what? I would do it on a first date. I don't care. That's just me. I don't really care. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I was like, man, whatever. I'll do it on the first date. I was like, maybe you shouldn't do it. I was gonna be all PC about it. I was like, I'm literally gonna go against what I just said. No, I'm programmed differently. That's it. I'm differently. I'll do it on the first date.
It's funny because I thought about that too, because that's one of the things I said to him. And we both had a good laugh about it, like there was no hard feelings. It wasn't like, oh my God. I mean, no, he was a little awkward. He wanted me to order something after that. I was like, no, seriously, I'm just messing with you. Like I just had to point this out. And so something I noticed. So all right, when they did bring the food out, it was on separate plates, It had the platter on the one plate and then the pancakes, they put it on a separate plate. So even when they went to put the food in front of us, they tried giving me the full meal and giving him the pancakes. And then we just had to like switch plates and everything.
Yeah.
But it was definitely one of those situations that it ran through my mind like as it was happening. I was like, oh man, this is the infamous like sharing a meal. Like, wait a minute, and I had to stop and think about it because I also have the programming of, oh my God, like we're supposed to get separate meals.
No, you're not. Why? Why would
and
you?
I heard you in my ear too. I was like, yo, if Ray was here, you'd definitely be like, oh, you could do that on the first date. I don't think so. You definitely can't do that on the first date.
I would. I'm sorry, but I would. And you know what? That's a great filter because if somebody's really gonna look at you crooked because you want to break bread with them, why would you want them in your life?
Because not everyone looks like that. Now everyone's looking at like, oh, we're breaking bread.
Then I don't want. Listen,
like,
I don't
want. Oh, you're being cheap.
You are literally programmed with the why? Listen, do you understand how broke everybody is? Like 99% of this world is broke. 99% of the people are upside down in debt. So do you think I give a rat's ass if somebody looks at me as being cheap? Like if I go to a restaurant and I'm the one paying and I can't make my choice when I'm supposed to order 3 meals because I want to try a little of this and a little of that, why not be like, hey, you know what? What are you getting? You want to split some of this? Because I kind of want to try that. And if you want to try that, because that's what I do with you. That's what I do with mom.
That's different. But that's different. So what you're saying is you're each getting your own meal and you're sharing both meals.
Yeah.
Versus like getting one meal and splitting that one meal.
I'll do that too. If there was something like, I'm not really hungry, I kind of came out to meet you, you want to split something, and she looks at me crooked, then I'm going to dead it. I'm going to be like, I'm out, bro. Because do you know how much drama that's going to be in the future? Like, this is I already know that the kind of money I make in my life, ain't nobody on that level, right? And I don't want to sound conceited or anything like that, but I already know that I've already achieved a certain level. So I know that by percentage and the math in my head, I already know she's broke. And chances are women are not good with their finances. So I know she's upside down in debt. So if you can't split a meal on the first date when I'm paying, I'm dead. I'm done with you. Yeah, you got too much baggage and drama. I'm good.
What?
I'm good. Like, please.
All right, so what happens? All right, what happens when you have the same situation, right? You have that same mentality of, oh, you know what? I already ate, like, let's split something, yada, yada. You order it, and it comes out, and it's just a tiny portion. What do you do?
Then I would order something else. Okay. I've been in restaurants where there's been small portions, and I wanted more. And then I'll order more.
Okay.
Right? But if we go to some place and I could see the other table and I'm like, damn, that portion is huge. I'm not going to eat that much. You want to split something? She looks at me crooked. I'm done because I know there's girls that would do it. That's the thing. I know that one of your friends would do it. Because one of your friends is a sweetheart. Right?
Oh, we're talking about specific friends here.
Yeah, I think there's one of your friends that would do it.
Okay.
Like, think about your friends, right? Think about all your friends. How many of you think would do it?
I think all my friends would be down to split a meal. But only like one of my friends would not split a meal on like a first date. They'd be like, nah, that ain't it.
Okay, let me ask you again.
Let me say 2 of them because I feel like I would be the same way.
Let me ask you again.
Okay.
If you're really feeling the guy, how many of your friends would do it?
Okay, I think that's a better question.
Exactly. So, fellas, why wouldn't you do that regardless?
If I'm really feeling the guy, I think I'd be okay with it too. Like, yeah, okay.
So, fellas, listen. We know women.
I would also order dessert though. Hey, I got that.
Well, yeah, I would order dessert.
I'm getting dessert.
And not only would I order dessert, I would split it too. I'd be like, yo, I kind of feeling the flan and the tres leche. You kind of want to go in on that? Yeah, let's go. See, because I'm like, I'm not saying I'm not trying to eat. I'm just saying like I don't understand why we can't do that. And I don't really understand why we can't do it on the first date.
Leftovers anyway. If we have like, the rest of the night, we have the rest of the date. Who wants to walk around with a bag of? Unless
you're in Universal Studios, because this is what I saw when I went there. My man went on the date, right? They went afterwards to like ride the rides, and he had the leftovers. And because the lines were so long, like halfway through the line, he's like went back eating the food, and then he was feeding her too. And I was like, all right, that's kind of smart because he was getting rid of the food by the time he got up to the front of the ride.
Yeah, but it all comes up when you're on the ride. Whose idea was that?
Yeah, and the line is like what, 90 minutes? So he had a good hour and a half to finish the food. See, that's kind of smart. But listen, guys, we know that women love to test you, right? To see if you're that guy, right? They call shit tests, and most of the time when they shit test you, you just gotta laugh them off or hit them with some sarcastic remark. Like when she's like, "Oh, you talking blah 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 blah," you just hit her with like, "Yeah, of course I am. What do you mean?" And she's gonna look at you, and then she's gonna start laughing, and you start laughing, right? But right, if they could do that to us, and we know they do that shit, why can't we start testing them? Like on the first date, if she's feeling you, she's gonna split a meal with you. Lynn just said it. Lynn just said it. Yeah. So then try to do it. And that's an easy way to know if she's there for the money or she's there for you. I'm telling all guys to do that shit. That's just me though. Like, do you really want to be the guy who spends $100 at a night, right? The first night on a date, $100, and she got you on the phone as free meal because you're
Ouch.
trying to impress the first night? Or how about you come out with you just like, yo, this is the quickest way to weed somebody out. Let's split something. And she's like, oh, hell no, I'm not that type of girl. I'll be like, all right, that's the door. Bye. You just saved me like a whole pay. Yo, you saved me a whole $100 freaking bill. I had a good 2 hours into this date to find out that you're just about the money. Bye.
All right. So what if you say, oh, do you want to split something? And she's like, I'm hungry.
Look, if it's the other way around, right? If it's the other way around, I guarantee it, ladies, if you ever ask a dude if he wants to split something, he'll be cool with it. Every guy would be cool.
I agree with that. I agree with that because I don't think I've ever met a guy who I've been like, ooh, can I have a bite of that? And they're like, hell no, get out of here. Like,
yeah, exactly. No, I'm hungry. What you just said. No, I'm hungry. See, that was a shit test. And you see how I flipped that shit on her? And see how she's laughing? That's how you guys got to be, bro. You got to take these shit tests like, what are you doing? What next? What do you got? What do you got? That's how I got to be, bro. That's exactly how it has to be. When they try to hit you with that shit, you got to be your dude. You can't bend that shit for nobody. Because all they're going to do is once you bend, they're going to be like, you're a punk ass. And they're going to ride you. And they're going to have you on that phone as a free meal. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Split those tots. Split those tots. That's a t-shirt. We need merch, Lynn. I need to split those tots. Oh, man. I'm telling you, man. This shit is crazy. I don't understand it, man. I really don't understand that. Like, to me, that would be something like, yo, one of the most classic, iconic, like, romantic things is Lady and the Tramp, where they're eating together and they like pull the same spaghetti thing and then they kiss. Oh, that's so cute. Like, I don't understand why breaking bread is so freaking bad. I don't get it. I don't get it. Split, share a plate, get close, be intimate. Isn't that what a date's supposed to be?
Yeah. You're right.
So what if he wants to be a broke? Oh, now, of course they're gonna be. Oh, he's a broke mofo. No, maybe he's just cutting back on his expenses, right? Mm-hmm. Because he's trying to be somewhere in life, and he's being like, financially like responsible. But why do we always jump to the fact that the dude's broke? I don't understand that. Like, maybe he goes on a lot of dates, and y'all be running it up all the time. And he's like, yo, I'm trying to be at baller status in about 2 years. I'm trying to save up for a house, but I do want to have some kind of social life. So y'all bitches are going to start sharing this meal with me. But nah, he got to be a broke mofo. I don't understand it. But I'm glad you heard my voice. I'm so glad. Because you would not been deprogrammed unless you heard me talking in the back of your head. Like, yo, think differently.
No, but not at all. I'm telling you, the situation it called for it. It was perfect. It called for it. All I wanted was pancakes. Like, you're gonna get the extra pancakes anyway. It made sense. I just had to point it out to him, and I had a good laugh. He had a good laugh.
So the waiter was
we had this great conversation.
Right? The waiter was a female.
Yes.
And she was giving him the crooked eye.
Yeah, she was like, "Well, what do you mean? You want 2 of those?"
I can only imagine how she went back and she was like, "Oh my God, I would never." And I guarantee that she's single and miserable because you got all these high standards on dudes when you are you're an average person. Like, lower your standards. Stop thinking like you're a superstar. Most people on this planet, you're just an average person. So let's start being average. I don't understand it anymore, man. All these women out here with such high standards.
I can't even say it's the men too, because I don't feel like men do have high standards.
No, men don't. And you know what's sad? A lot of guys these days, since dating is so like jacked up, that if a woman like just is nice and like smiles at them. And it's just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Or compliment them or something like that. Like, that's like something like so rare that they really believe like, oh my God, she's into me, right? Like, they're like, oh my God, I'm in love. Because Because it's so rare. It's so rare that they come across something like that. Whereas with women, you guys get that like 24/7 to the point where you're so tired of it, or you think you demand it. So it's sad because like for a guy, for a guy to like make you chase him, he has to almost ignore you. He has to give you the opposite of what you're constantly getting.
Mm-hmm.
So deep down inside, he wants to shower you with attention, but he has to like play it low key and cool because he's gonna scare you away because you get that all the time, right?
No,
So he has to ignore you, and then you got to
no.
be in your head like, what's wrong with it? What? I had my hair done. I did my hair, and I was wearing the nice blouse, and I had my perfume, and he didn't even look at me. He didn't say nothing. Like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? What's going on? And then you gotta ask your friend, what's wrong with me? Oh, I don't know. And that's gonna make you think about him even more, right? And then you're gonna like start messaging, and you're gonna get in your like.
Yep. You who? Wow. You who? YouTube didn't even want to hear that shit. They were like, nah, cut that shit out. Get that out of here. That's not what it's about.
Oh no!
So,
Oh, we're back. The
oh,
hamster
you're
wheel.
back.
I got the hamster wheel.
YouTube was like, that's not it.
Yeah, trying to censor me. Thanks, YouTube. That's hilarious.
Yeah, the lady filtering it today, she definitely is not feeling you.
She's not feeling me. She's not feeling me, man. Man, man. That's the next. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Next date I'll go on, I'm going to like a barbecue joint and we're splitting ribs, we're splitting all that shit, and we're gonna get messy too. And she walks out, I was like, hey, it wasn't even worth the time. This whole plate's mine now. But you know how cool that would be if you went on the first date and Shorty actually split the ribs with you and got messy with you, and y'all were laughing and having a good time and bonding over eating ribs together. Like in guy perspective, you know how many guys I probably go if they're watching this, they're like, yeah, I would love that. I would fucking love that. Like, yo, she's so cool. She's down to earth.
I know, you know what, I have heard that like guys appreciate a woman who doesn't care about, getting messy, like enjoying their food. And I've noticed it with like friends that they're just super like they'll go out to a restaurant and they'll order a salad. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's not food. That's rabbit food. That's not meant for us.
Yeah, I would. I love when a girl can eat. I love when a girl can eat. Like I would go to my one ex. She used to love crab legs, right? And so we would always go. Like I would always find like if we were out or about or something, like find a seafood place so she can get her bucket and she can go in and go hard on those crab legs.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, hey, you got chicken here, right? Yeah, let me get a chicken sandwich. And that was it. Yeah, she was just going in. And I just love that. I love seeing a girl when a girl can eat. And she's not ashamed. I hate when girls do this. Oh, yeah, hold on. I got to take my bite. Don't look. I'm like, we're humans. We're all eating. We're like, what are you doing? Why you got to do this? Like, I've never seen somebody eat before. Like, to me, I don't know. But you heard the key word I just said. Like, if she's down to earth. Like, a lot of guys are saying that. A lot of guys just want women to be down to earth, be nice, be like normal. Because right now we have this weird thing where like women are pressing. They're pressing for social media, right? They're pressing for that Instagram. They're pressing for and it's just like I don't know. Their standards are high and they're trying to be something that they're not. And it's rare when you find somebody who's like down to earth, just like a cool, chill person. So yeah, you just gave me another filter. Like I'm like, yo, we're splitting something. And I'm purposely doing that shit. I don't give it. But you did say you would do it if you were feeling the guy on the first date.
Yeah.
Would you think it's something off?
You know what? I would question it in my mind, be like, what's the reasoning for this?
Would you bring it up like months later? Like, let's say you guys are kind of going somewhere. It's 6 months into the relation. Be like, yo, why did you split the meal the first date?
Oh, I definitely would. You know what? I think I get that from Maude. I have no filter, but also that's my sense of humor. I'm able to laugh at shit. And I'm also able to kind of break the ice and have like those harder conversations with people. I have no problem pointing something out and being like, so let's talk about this real quick. Like,
so what would you do? Okay, what would you do if he came back and he hit you with the all the other excuses, like all the reasons I told you why somebody was splitting? Hey, I was trying to save some money that day, or I'm trying to save money. I was trying to do something else.
mm-hmm.
And I've been on a lot of dates where it doesn't go anywhere, so I figured cut some costs. Or what if he was just
some sense. Good on you.
Or what if it was something simple as he was like, yeah, I was testing you. I wanted to see if you were a real person, or you were just here for the steak.
And then you the conversation happens and you guys both laugh.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, shit.
Yeah, fellas, split that meal. See if she's there for you for the steak or she's there for you. You never know. They're just a lot of these ladies are dating and they're just on there for the steak.
No, but you know what? I think a lot of women would not be okay with that situation, especially on the first date.
I know.
Yeah, so I think maybe that is. I think you got something there, Ray.
I know. I know a lot of women would be like, oh my God, I'm a 10. How dare he treats me like that? And I'm like, oh, slow your roll. You're a 5. You're average. I'm average. We're at an average restaurant. You're not somewhere on Miami Beach. We're not on a yacht. You're not a 10. You're a 5. And I'm testing you because you think you're a 10. So go. There's the door. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's just me, though. That's just me. I think it's hilarious that you don't break bread, man. I love breaking bread. And then that's like so, like, I don't know, like eating is one of the most, like, we all got to eat, right? Mm-hmm. And it's one of the most like spiritual things that we have to do. Like literally, not to make it all religious, right? But what do we do when we go for communion, right? We drink wine and we have a piece of bread, and that's supposed to symbolize, right, the blood and the body of Christ, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's literally like food and eating. Look at when like other countries where they go their lunch breaks are like 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
The lunch breaks because they're bonding over what? Food. They're bonding over food, right? And I guarantee that if you're out with your friends, right, or you're out with coworkers that you're close, I guarantee y'all are eating off each other's plates.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and you know what? It gets to a point where I'm comfortable enough with you that I don't even ask anymore. I'm just
right. You just grab.
Right. Like, ooh, that looks good.
Right. Or if you have something good on your plate, you gotta try this, and you're handing your plate over.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we could do it with our close family and friends, but a complete stranger that we're trying to get to know, why are we so standoffish with something that could be so intimate? Mm-hmm. Something like breaking bread. Like that's the fastest way. If you share a meal with somebody, that's the fastest way to actually get that bond and connection going.
Yeah, to bring that barrier down, that wall.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like if you really want to get somebody real, go to a barbecue place and be like, yo, we're going to do a sampler. We're going to get all messy. And if she's real, she's going to stay. 1, she's there for you. And 2, she doesn't mind getting dirty. I don't know. To me, that maybe there's some other red flags on the date, but that to me is like, man, okay, I kind of want to see you again. But she's like, nah, you gotta take me to a steakhouse. That's like that one video we saw where the chick was all irate because he took her to Applebee's. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, once again, you're an average person. I'm an average dude, and we're going to an average joint. Like, what do you think that you need to be on that standard? Do you make that kind of money for Ruth Chris? Do you make that kind of money? Right. Are you upside down in debt? Are you financially free? Do you still owe money to a bank? Then what makes you think you deserve Ruth Chris? I don't understand that. You want steak? Cool. Texas Roadhouse. Let's go to Texas Roadhouse. I don't know. Like I said, I've been ranting.
There's even a song about Applebee's. Like they're just.
Yeah, I love that song.
They have a stigma,
No, I love that song, and I put the spin on it. I was
like, I'm bougie like Applebee's.
Yeah, when I go, Yeah, when I go with my son, we put that song on and we'd be like, going to Applebee's for the guys' night, and then he's like, I get the Bourbon Street steak with the Oreo shake, and we ordered it, and he loved it. He was like, "Oh, we did the song, we did the song," and we split it. We split everything because what was I gonna do? Order 2 Bourbon Street steaks,
Right.
knowing that he was gonna eat it? No, we ordered one and we split it because of like 2 sides. I'm like, yo, that's too much food. I don't know, but then again, I'm not. I used to stun with cars, right? Lynn knew all the cars I used to have back in the day, but I'm happy with my truck. And Shorty said something about my truck. I'm like, oh well, bye. I have more meaningful memories with my truck that's not you.
I'm so annoying. I said something about his truck too because he drives a pickup truck. All right. And I need to explain this one now because now I just feel awful. But I don't have any issues with a pickup truck. You're just not winning any brownie points with me in a pickup truck.
Why? But why do I gotta win brownie points with you? You're average, Lynn.
You absolutely don't. You do not. There's nothing wrong with a pickup truck. I'm not knocking a pickup truck. I'm just saying, like, it's not gonna, like, I'm not impressed. I'm not like, ooh, he drives a pickup truck. Like, that's not.
So do you feel like you deserve to date somebody who drives like a Benz or a Beamer or Porsche or something like that?
No.
Like, why would you want that? First off, why would you even want that lifestyle? Like, if you don't have money in abundance for that lifestyle, for those cars to feel like Fords, why do you want to live in that lifestyle? Listen, I tried that. I was doing that. And the maintenance around those things? Yo, the maintenance, when you went to the dealer, when you went to the dealership for whatever you wanted to do, I was just like, yo, why am I doing this? Like, yeah, okay, I could afford it, but I can't afford it. It's like, okay, all right, I got the car, I could do the monthly payments, but bless you, I'm not really into that lifestyle. Like, I don't understand. Like, like I said, unless you could, that kind of money, that kind of dough, like unless like 100 grand. So most of those cars cost 100 grand, right? A nice one. If 100 grand to you is like 10 grand to a normal person, then yeah, you're about that lifestyle, right? You have it in abundance. But if you don't, why do that? And I see it all the time. I see guys who, because listen, you want a Maserati, you want those really expensive cars, you can always find those cars for dirt cheap. And then I see it all the time. Those guys buy those cars and they're stunning it, and then like 6 months later, the car is parked along the side because a part broke and it costs like 10 grand to fix it.
Woo! Holy shit! Could you
imagine? Yeah. Audi has a sensor that if that sensor goes bad, they have to drop the whole engine. It costs like 5 grand to do it.
Holy crap!
And the Audi SUV, I think it's like the Q7 or something like that. Yes, sir.
Now you see, like, for me, so disclaimer, it's not like, oh, you'd have brownie points if you drive a foreign vehicle. Like, that's not what I'm thinking either. I'm just not a pickup truck kind of girl. Like, I think they're cheesy.
They're cheesy. Yeah, they're cheesy. Practical.
Drive a pickup truck in the country. Like, what are you doing? That's just, it's regular.
But they're practical. So you think my truck is cheesy, knowing that I sleep in the back of that thing when I go camping?
No, like and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing wrong with a pickup truck. You just don't get no brownie points for me with a pickup truck. Like, it's just not. It's regular. It's just a pickup truck. Like.
So what car gets brownie points?
I don't know. I like sports cars. I like something sporty. I like SUVs too. Like, he likes Fords. So what about like a Ford Explorer? The Explorer is nice.
Explorer's nice.
Yeah,
So
pickup truck is like, okay, you got a car, you can drive somewhere. So
if a guy has an Escalade or a Denali, are you gonna be like, oh, okay, he gets
that's
brownie
an
points?
Expensive ass car. That's
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if somebody pulls up in a Mercedes, I'm gonna be impressed. I'm gonna be like, "Oh wow, this is nice,"
Until he wants to split the meal with you.
Yeah, that's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, if you can afford to put gas in that thing, you can afford a second plate. Come on.
All right. So what if you So I think somebody with a pickup truck would win brownie points if they were congruent with that truck.
Hmm.
So I think if somebody had a truck, right, and let's say on the first date he took you that somewhere that was like, I don't know, maybe like a country
Driving,
boy, right? No, like let's
driving.
say he's a country boy. He picks you up in the truck, and then he takes you to like a, I don't know, like a country like line dancing or something like that.
Hmm.
And he fits that whole package. He's congruent to it, right?
Okay,
Would that give him brownie points then?
maybe, maybe in that scenario that you just painted, yeah.
Like he actually goes, he takes you
Like if
line
he's wearing the
dancing or
plaid with
something.
like the rolled up sleeves and like
Yeah, yeah,
you go to like the Roadhouse.
yeah. And he's congruent through and through.
Mm.
Then and only then you would be like, okay, okay. Then that's something that
I'm
you
still not filling the
do
pickup
get some
truck.
kind of points.
No, I'm still not filling the pickup truck. I still think it's regular. I think it'd be cute, like it would go with his personality and everything. But no, I'm just not into pickup trucks.
Hmm. All right. Well, she's not into pickup truck.
I mean, I'm not putting a pickup truck on the same level as like a hoopty. You just
No, because listen. I seen the guys that Lynn gets all excited for. She got excited for guys on bikes. Like, ooh, he's a hot boy on a motorcycle.
That's
Ooh,
true.
so he had a
Hey,
Kawasaki for like $5,000, and she was ooh. So I know the difference. It's just maybe you don't like that kind of dude. Like maybe you don't like the country boy,
mm-hmm.
and maybe that's why the pickup truck is kind of rubbing you the wrong way.
I don't know because I thought it'd be kind of cute if like they had the whole pickup truck personality, like oh country boy, like oh yeah, I have like hay in the back of my truck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And he takes you to like a holdout. He's like, yo, I want to take you to the country fair or something. And like you gotta, you put your hair in the pigtails and dress like with your little Daisy Dukes or whatever. Like that wouldn't be like you're playing that whole persona. That wouldn't fly with you.
I mean, maybe for a summer, but like, what are you doing? Just renting the pickup truck? I don't know.
No, that's really his lifestyle. Like he's about that lifestyle. Okay, so let me ask you this then. What would you prefer the guy who has a pickup truck because that's like his work truck and he's like, low down, low key, he's not really trying to stunt and all that? Or do you want the guy who is chasing after something that he's not? I don't know. What I'm getting at is like there was a TV show where I watched it and I thought it was full of shit. So that's why I'm
Mm.
asking the question. Where like it was like a middle-aged guy, he owns his own business, and they were trying to put him out dating again after like the wife passed, and it was like a couple of years. The family was like, "Yo, you got to get dating again. You're a young guy. I mean, not he wasn't young. He was like maybe 40 or 50 or something like that. But you got to get back out there again,
Oh, you know.
and you're still good looking and all that. So get out there." And so he was like, "Oh, that I'm in my, let's say, mid 40s, right? He was in his mid 40s or something,
Hmm.
and I just have this truck because it's my job." And the show made it seem like all the women wanted that because they were tired of guys in their mid 40s, 50s, like having a Porsche. And she, like, one of the girls, she really asked, "Let me guess, you got a Porsche. You own your own business. I'm going to guess, you got a Porsche." He's like, "No, I got a dirty truck." And, like, instantly she was like, oh, super horny because he wasn't, like, trying to be this guy in this Porsche, this douchey guy in a Porsche.
Hmm.
So I forgot where I was going with my question.
You just trying to get your rom com.
Yeah,
Sounds awesome.
yeah, yeah. So it was a TV show. It was like some comedy. Listen, I like comedies, but there's like no comedy. So I end up watching these stupid ass shows, like comedies about a supermarket and some shit, because it's like there's no comedies. Oh, I need comedies again. Like the only comedy right now that's still like I think it's like it could get away with murder because it's been around for the longest. It's like South Park and Always Sunny in Philly
Hmm.
because like they established themselves like way before this woke culture, so they're like you can't cancel them. They're uncancelable, right? But heaven forbid a show tries to start now being raunchy. Yeah, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. So who would you like in that scenario? Who would you Like, which would be more attractive? The guy in the guy that's done, like you can tell he's fake. He's being really fake in this Porsche, right? Having a
Mhm.
midlife crisis, or the guy who's like down to earth in a truck.
I mean, I would choose the person who's down to earth. I wouldn't choose the one
Lies.
who's coming
You
across
know they're gonna go for the money. Lies.
But
They're gonna go for the money.
yeah, I don't know. Like you keep like playing these different scenarios, but like I don't know. Like a truck is still a pickup truck. It's like, oh, that's what you drive. Okay.
I love my truck. Oh, I love my truck. And I ain't changing it for no one. Memories I'm making in that truck is like hands down the best thing ever. And my buddy was trying to get me into a truck like years ago, a long time ago. And I'm like, I wish I would have done it sooner. I wish I would have listened to him and got my
Mhm.
truck sooner. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna see myself in another car. Like I'm gonna sell that and probably like once it's like falling apart, I'm gonna
Mhm.
get me another truck. It is what it is. But you ain't about that life, so you don't understand that life. You gotta like try it out, man. I'll try getting you a truck. I told you get the little Hyundai one.
No.
I think if you were to get a truck, I think you would love it. The same thing with camping. You were like, oh, I don't want to go camping. You went camping, and you were like, oh, then we're going camping again. You had fun.
I did have fun camping, yeah, and I did it
Yeah.
perfectly fine. My little SUV, my little my mom crossover. Brr.
Yeah. 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 But all right, we're on the top of the hour.
Mhm.
Anything else we're talking about?
Now let's go ahead and close it out, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hit that like button. It helps us with the algorithm. We'll be back on Thursday night live with our next topic.
Yeah. And in closing, life's short, so break bread, get messy, get it all over your face, and enjoy life. Stop stunning for something that's not realistic. I don't get it. Enjoy while you can. Love you guys.
Like the more I think about it, I think I would be more attracted to the dude in the Porsche.
Yeah, I know you would. Lies, the money. It's all about the Benjamins.
Like, oh, hello, Mr. Midlife Crisis. I will help you spend your fortune.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly.